YouTube could build one. Before a formal strike issues, YouTube could flag the claim for a fair use review, automated or human, and withhold the strike if the use appears transformative. This would require investment, but YouTube already employs thousands of content moderators and has sophisticated content analysis.
Nope. No. I'm sorry. Leonard French, I'm sorry, but didn't you get the memo, Leonard? Most of their content moderation humans are gone. It's all AI now. Neil Mohan was so proud to declare that most of them are AI now. Don't you get it? There's one thing you are completely wrong. And that is assuming that YouTube even has enough humans to control content, to moderate content. It's all AI. Most of them is AI. I wouldn't dare say all, I'll say most.
I was given information from a source that is very reliable, okay? And here's the biggest takeaway, okay? YouTube's content flagging system is so heavily automated, it's not even something that's just somewhat automated. Less than half of its former human workforce is even still there. The rest of it is all AI. There's less than half the people there who do the thing are people. Less than half.
That is sad. That is very sad.
So in other words, if you think that you didn't get a human to review your channel, the answer is yes, because there's not many of them to review your channel.
You could adopt neutral third-party dispute resolution. PEX has already partnered with WIPO's Arbitration and Mediation Center to provide exactly this for copyright disputes. YouTube could integrate a similar system, replacing the current framework where the accusing rights holder effectively decides the outcome. A neutral arbiter, considering both the claims and the fair use defense before a strike is confirmed, would be a structural improvement over the status quo. None of these reforms would violate Section 512I.
And also, this is another important thing also. The reason there are so many false flaggers on YouTube and how scammers manage to make a business false flagging videos on YouTube is because it is so easy to false flag people on YouTube, especially DMCA claim them. If YouTube even makes it a slight bit harder, the incentive to do that will be reduced so much. Because the amount of effort someone has to put to falsely claim something will not match the payout. Seriously, YouTube created its own problems. YouTube allowed this type of scam syndicates to run false DMCA claims, probably even daily, because their system allows it to happen with minimal work. It's that simple. I'm going to use this rhetorically. I don't know why Neil Mohan does not come up with a better solution, but and now he's running out of excuses to come up with a better solution.
Courts have consistently held that reasonable implementation is a flexible standard. And after Cox, even if a court found YouTube's reformed policy didn't satisfy Section 512I, the contributory liability exposure that made the safe harbor essential has been dramatically reduced. What this could mean for content creation? If YouTube moved in this direction, the effects would ripple across the entire creator economy. YouTube is the platform that sets the standard. Its copyright policies influence how every other platform structures its own systems: TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. A more forgiving...
I think we're the closest we've ever been to having a YouTuber class action lawsuit. Very, very close. More people will get struck. I expect it to happen. More people will get falsely struck by this AI moderation. More. Probably more. As far as I know, hundreds to maybe even thousands have already been affected. And if all of them, or even most of them, go to a lawyer and say, we want to make YouTube pay for their mistakes, it's already going to be a landmark. It's going to be a big difference. There is no closer time for a class action lawsuit to be practical than now. Because back then the old systems were like, You are not lucky, it happens to you. If you're not lucky again, it happens to you. But it's always like here and there, spread out sporadically. But this is consistent, this is high volume, and this is noticeable. The AI moderation is broken. Whether on purpose or from sheer incompetence, we will never know. But enough people, both small channels and high-profile channels, are affected. There is no better time than now than to have a class action lawsuit, honestly, and I hope our lawyer is cooking up something with a group of YouTubers. Okay, the patterns are too consistent, too frequent, and the leadership are too seemingly oblivious for it to not be accident, for it to not be incompetence. I have reason to believe there is a degree of deliberation, there is a degree of intent. By all means, if YouTube dares or wants to, they can try and deny it, but I don't think that's going to change people's opinions all that much. I do think so, yes. I do think so. We have long gone past this looks like incompetence, this looks like stupidity, this looks like ineptness. There is something going on with the AI moderation that I think is by design. That's my opinion. And I'm sure a lot of people are sharing the same opinion right now. And this video assumes, he makes a lot of good points, sure, yes, Leonard makes a lot of good points, but the problem is that he assumes that YouTube is in good faith, that YouTube leadership is acting in good faith.
Worry that relaxed enforcement will increase piracy and erode the revenue streams that fund creative work in the first place? This concern's not frivolous. The Content ID monetization system generates billions of dollars for rights holders annually, and it depends on a credible enforcement backdrop. But the counter-argument has limits. Content ID handles the vast majority of copyright management on YouTube already. The three-strike system is a blunt instrument layered on top of a sophisticated one, and blunting it further doesn't mean abandoning copyright enforcement.
These are good inputs for a YouTube that is sufficiently spooked by the prospect of a class action lawsuit. Not YouTube as it is now, smug, oblivious, or deliberately, willfully blind of the plights of its own creators. Not this type of YouTube. It has to be a YouTube that is in fear, in existential fear. And again, a class action lawsuit would give some level of sobriety to YouTube.
2 days after Cox, X's lawyers told a Nashville federal court that the copyright theories in a pending music publisher's lawsuit fail as a matter of law under the new standard. Meta invoked Cox in its defense against Epidemic Sound. The court issued a GVR order vacating a $46.7 million verdict against Grande Communications, another ISP, and the record label's $2.6 billion suit against Verizon faces the same headwinds.
Can you imagine this, lurkers? When Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook Meta, of all places, is adapting to the more lenient laws, can you imagine that? Good job, Neil Mohan. Good job, YouTube CEO. Instead of adapting your laws, you just made it worse. You're making your policies worse. As if the laws didn't change.
The real contribution theory the court just eliminated is in disarray. The RIAA's Mitch Glazier responded by calling on policymakers to look closely at the impact of this ruling. That's the signal. The fight moves to Congress. If platforms visibly relax enforcement before rights holders can secure legislative backup, the window for reform may be narrow. Right now, the window is open. YouTube has the legal room, the technical infrastructure, and the competitive incentive to build a copyright system that distinguishes between pirates and creators. Cox v. Sony didn't require it, but for the first time in the platform's history, nothing in the law prevents it either. That's where things stand. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, and I want to hear what you think.
this is quite a messy set of affairs. And it's not messy by being unintentionally messy, as is not it is unforced. It is self-inflicted. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell button. If you don't, something will happen to you at 3 a.m. tonight.